Yo guys, it's me again, and welcome to the draft analysis of a new GWA season, GWA Season 7. I am so excited for this new season. So basically, if you don't know, GWA is the league where I am a co-owner, co-mod in, but the commissioner of the league, Mr. Spin, is not playing this season, so I basically took full control of the league for this season, which could be really fun. Although I do want Spin back in the future seasons. We love you, Spin. But in the meantime, we're going to have fun without him. So with me in full control, I basically invited all my friends who wanted to play. So you're going to see a lot of familiar faces. You're going to see a lot of people who already were in GWA. I got some old GWA players back, like Dino and Milk, which I'm very excited about. I basically kidnapped half of MMC, so that's cool. And then I also took Harvey with me from QEDL, who, if you remember, ridiculously hacked me a few weeks ago with his stupid Shaman Sky. So I just only wanted him in GWA so I could kick his ass and get revenge. No, I like Harvey, but I do want revenge. For this GWA season, we are not doing Ubers again. Thank God. We're going back to our roots with just regular Paldea decks. 15 Terra points budget for lower tier Terra caps, but instead of the usual 9 points and below, we went for 10 and below, so we get a little bit more power, which is really fun. I have a ridiculously fun Terra captain, the best one allowed, no debate, although I do think there are probably betters, but there is no debate, it's the best one allowed, because I am unbiased. So yeah, I'm very excited for this season, as you can tell. I had fifth pick overall, so the Dragon Ball that I always want was off the table, but there was a lot of things I could still get, like I wanted Gouging Fire, I wanted Roaring Moon, I wanted Masquerada. So yeah, fifth pick overall, and Gouging Fire dropped to me, so I did get a Gouging Fire, which is really nice. Just look at these stats. It's so bulky, it's so strong, has a good speed tier to Dragon Dance. I've used Gouging Fire before, 2 seasons ago, under Sun. It was ridiculous. I Yokoed an Annihilate with Heat Crash. I Yokoed a Great Tusk with Flare Blitz. I two-shot a Gastrodon with Heat Crash. It was hilarious. This Pokemon is ridiculously strong in the Sun. Like, you give it a Choice Band. With Adamant Nature, you get the Photosynthesis attack boost. You get the Choice Band attack boost. And all your Fire-type moves get plus 50% in the Sun. Damage calcs are really fun with this Pokemon. They really are. Unless you have to fight it. Which I don't, so I'm really happy. But other than the Sunbot it can also set up a Dragon Dance, as I said, but it can also be really bulky, like I get Morning Sun, which is really nice. I get Burning Bulwark, so if I have to fight physical attackers that make contact, I can burn them on contact, which is really cool. I can also become a Dragon type sweep with Outrage and Dragon Claw. It gets Scale Shot, which is awesome. But I can also use I think, Breaking Swipe set, which got it banned in OU, which is cool. And it gets some nice coverage in EQ. I had Scyfangs and Stone Edge. I love this Pokemon. I had it 2 seasons ago. I lost in semifinals. That's going to be a recurring team, sadly, in GWA. So this season I'm going to break that. Hopefully. Guardian Fire is named Maki this season, after our good friend Maki, who's also in GWA. She hates Guardian Fire. I love Guardian Fire. It's called Maki. Shout out to Maki, we love you. But we love Guardian Fire a little bit more. I'm joking, Maki, don't kill me. So yeah, Guiding Fire, my round 1, I'm very excited to have it. So for my round 2, I wanted Roaring Moon. I really wanted the Sun team again. Like Roaring Moon and Guiding Fire together are ridiculous. And then I was thinking maybe I get Torkoal round 3 and Sunny Shocks round 4, and I have a really good Sun core, and then I can draft some bulk around it and have a really cool team. But then Dino came along, and Dino took Roaring Moon round 1, and he took Torkoal round 2. So I was in shambles. I had to completely redo my plan. Mostly I was lacking speed. Like, I could still draft Ninetales for Sun, but I don't love Ninetales as much as I like Torkoal. And I didn't really find a good replacement for Roaring Moon. Like, speed tier wise, it was rough. So I just decided to forgo the Sun and draft something really fast. I call it Meowscarada B. It's Greninja. I love Meowscarada and MMC. Greninja is a little bit weaker. Like 103 special attack is not the same as 110 physical attack from Meow. especially because Meow gets knockoff, triple axel, and flower trick, which are all three really good moves. If you hit triple axel, that is. While Greninja sure he gets hydro pump, but you know me by now. I'm a surf player, so it's a little bit weaker. But then again, it gets so many moves. Like look at it. I can run a water move, I can run a dark move, I can run an ice move, fighting, grass, poison, even psychic. It gets U-turn, which is awesome. I really value U-turning. Yeah, Greninja can also be like a spike setter and a T-spike setter, which is cool. I get fast stoned. I get a really fast switcheroo if I want to cripple something with a specs or choice scarf. I can also run a mixed set because 95 base attack isn't that much worse than 103 special attack, and it does get Swords Dance. So if I really want to be like a Battle Bond Greninja, I can like Swords Dance. Suddenly I'm at +2 attack. I can kill something which isn't expecting me, and then I go to +3 attack, +1 special attack, +1 speed, and I can go from there. It's really cool. It's my brother's favorite Pokemon as well, so I might as well try it out for the once. And I'm calling it Crap, because Crap has used Greninja before, and she hated it. So it's fun taunting Crap. Shout out to you, Crap. We love you. But it's fun making fun. It's fun making fun of you. So you can basically guess my nicknaming team for now. Like, I have Gouging Fire, which is called Maki, and Greninja, which is called Crap. If you don't know by now, you will know later. And if you already know, be prepared to know which Pokemon you are. For my third pick, I drafted Scizor. Shout out to Patrick, aka Patty. We kidnapped him from MSC. Sadly, though, Patrick and Scizor do like each other. They do not have the hate relationship that Gouging Fire and Maki have, or Greninja and Crap. But then again, who hates Scizor? It's so cool, it's so strong, but it's not overbearing. It's also not too overrated. It's not too much in the spotlight from Game Freak. It's just a really cool and good Pokemon. And yeah, if you do dislike it, let me know. But you are wrong. You're not allowed to dislike Scizor. It's really cool. Alright, Scizor, everyone knows what it does though. It's a Technician Pokemon with Bullet Punch and 130 attack. It's really strong. I can run Choice Band, I can run Swords Dance. I can pivot with U-turn, I can knock some items, which is really cool. It gets CC this gen to beat the bulky steals, which otherwise walled it. It gets a Technician boosted Trailblaze, which is really awesome. So yeah, it gets a lot this gen. I really wanted it to U-turn around together with Greninja, so both of them really help Gouging Fire come into the battle, which is nice. And Scizor is also one form of hazard control against Defog. Sure, people don't like it when you call Scizor a hazard remover, but I disagree. I think it's a good defogger. Like, otherwise, like if you think about hazard removers, you think about Corviknight and Mandibus. So yeah, if I am with my Corviknight and I click defog, you probably go into one of your offensive Pokemon because Corviknight isn't that threatening. I remove hazards, but you get all the momentum with your offensive one to lead into my Corviknight, and I have to adapt. If I go into Scizor, you probably don't switch into your offensive Pokemon, because Scizor is a threat. You probably go into a wall. If I click Defog on that, I get rid of hazards, and I don't have to be afraid of losing momentum, because I can U-turn around, or if it's like a really passive Pokemon, like a Toxapex for example, I can click Swords Dance, and I do not care. So, long story short, I do like offensive defoggers or defensive rapid spinners. It's not a waste to click, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm excited to use Scizor. It gets so much utility. And like I said with Gouging Fire, I already drafted Scizor. I think it was the first season of GWA I played, so season 3. Also lost in semifinals, so we have 2 semifinal losers. It's sadly not the last one. It's sadly not the last one. I have a GWA semifinals curse, what can I say? Alright, for my fourth pick, I drafted Ursaluna Blood Moon, aka Toch, that one guy. I associate Blood Moon and Toch together. Toch does love Blood Moon, but like, I couldn't find anyone who disliked Blood Moon either. And yeah, I also just think about Blood Moon when I think about Toch, and when I think about Blood Moon, when I think about Toch, I think about Blood Moon. Because he did beat me with it in CMM. And then I got my revenge in semifinals, so I could win the entire season. But it's really cool. I had Blood Moon before in GWA Season 4 and loved it. Although I lost not in semifinals there, I lost in round 1 of playoffs after I got swept by a blunder policy, Hypnosis, Hydro Pump, Terra Water, Melodic. That was a battle. I'm almost over it, and it's been a year, so I'm doing well, I think. Oh man. Okay, Blood Moon, 113 HP, 120 defense, 135 special attack. It's really strong, it's really bulky. Sure, 65 spin is bad, but I can click Calm Mind to boost that up. And I have Moonlight to keep myself healthy, so like mostly on Blood Moon you don't need anything else other than Blood Moon and Earth Power, Calm Mind and Moonlight. And it can stick to teams on its own. But it doesn't need to be this set. I can also run Hyper Voice with Throat Spray, which is really cool. And that also helps with Pokemon that are trying to stop me out of Blood Moons. I can run an AV set with Vacuum Wave, which is awesome. I can also run some coverage like Body Press or Moonblast, or even Snarl if I want to beat something 1v1. I can boost my speed with Trailblaze. This thing gets a lot. I really like it. Same thing with Gouging Fire though, it's hard to get into the battle, that's the main problem I think. But Scissor and Greninja are both really good pivoting mons. So if I can pivot into Blood Moon or into Gouging Fire, click a delete move, I get a kill. And even if I don't get a kill and my opponent somehow lives the move and they revenge kill my Blood Moon or Gouging Fire, which isn't easy to do because they're both really bulky, but let's say it happens, something lives in red HP, they do revenge kill me, I can go into Greninja, activate my Battle Bonds, and sweep from there. Or I can go into Scissor, click Bullet Punch, revenge kill. I think they have really good synergy together, they are really strong together offensively, and all of them are really bulky except for Greninja, so I think I have a good team so far. I think I recovered quite well from Dino Snipes. Alright, for my fifth one, I drafted my Terra Captain, which I'm so excited for. Heracross the Goat. Oh man, I'm so excited to have this. I may be directly responsible for this Heracross being allowed to Terra, because we put it up for a vote, but as I said before, I recruited all the people, so I made sure we had people who loved Heracross. And I think I went 8 to 6 in favor of it being allowed to Terra. So to the 7 people who voted with me on allowing Heracross, we do love you. To the 6 people who voted against Terra Heracross, suck a fat one, it is allowed to Terra. I'm going to beat you with it. I'm going to abuse this thing so much, and I am going to love it. I chose Terra Fighting because I had to choose a step typing, and who doesn't love Super Step Close Combat? Then I had Terra Normal for my Facade sets if I'm good Flame Orb. And I went for Terra Dark to get the step knockoff and to break the bulky Ghost, which otherwise really wall me well with my Close Combat Mega Horn or Facade, which can't really touch Ghosts. So, yeah. Heracross, as I mentioned before, it's guts, it's really good. But I can also run a Moxie set with Choice Scarf. Like, if people are really weak to fighting, what's going to switch in on a Terra Fighting Close Combat when I'm Choice Scarfed? I get an attack boost with my Moxie, and I can just sweep from there. It's really strong. But I can also set up spikes, so it doesn't have to be Greninja all the time, which is nice because Greninja is not the best spike setter in the world. I can set up with Heracross with Swords Dance, I can set up with Bulk Up, I can run a Trailblaze set once again. It gets a lot of coverage too, like against even a loaded dice, Pin Missile and Rock Blast set could be cool. I think it gets Bullet Seed too. May have forgotten about that. It definitely got Bullet Seed in previous gen, so I think it should get it now as well. But look at its stats, it's quite bulky. And it's a ground resist, which I did need, because Scissor isn't a ground resist, and my water type being a Greninja, I am quite weak to Earthquakes, so Heracross does take that quite well. Like, it's bulky. Of course, I'm not going to run it bulky, but it does have bulk naturally, so I can switch and take a hit and then sweep from there, which could be cool. For my sixth pick, I needed some bulk, because sure, Heracross, Blood Moon, Scissor, and Gouging Fire are not frail, but they're not defensive Pokemon either. Oh, I forgot something. I'm calling Heracross after Zero, because Zero has a disgraceful opinion. He mentioned Galarian Articuno is a better Terra Captain than Heracross, which is such a weird statement. All I'm going to say to that Zero, Galarian Articuno went undrafted. Heracross went drafted round 5. I think that says enough. And no Zero or other people, we do not need to mention what happened in the MMC semifinals. That's in the past. That's a different league. It's a different team. It was the same player though. But that's in the past. We're not mentioning that. Only good vibes here. And other than that, I also named it after Zero because Zero has the low kicks, and I just have the better book. So enjoy this quote. We love you, Zero. For my sixth pick, I needed more bulk. I drafted Pheasantipity. I needed a fairy. I needed the poison. I wanted some reliable recovery as well, so Roost gets I get Roost, I can U-turn around, I can spend status with Toxic, but I can also be a really annoying beat up set with my Toxic Chain. I get light screen, I get swords and agility, I get taunt. It's really cool. I love Fizendipity. I've used it before. I won CDC with it. I lost low tier semifinals in GWA. So I think this is the last of my semifinal losing Pokemon though, so that's cool. I named Fizendipity after Caleb, because Caleb does not know why I keep drafting this thing. I love it. And it's a stall Pokemon, and Caleb is known as the stall guy here, so there was only one Pokemon that was going to be named after Caleb, and it's Fezandipity. I'm really excited for it. Spadef Wall, really fast too, like 99 speed on the defensive Pokemon is really good. So yeah, I'm excited to have Fezandipity again, and I think it will do really well on my team. With my 7th pick, I drafted my second Terra captain, Bellybolt. I named it Mike after IHLP, which is the last time I'm going to mention that name, because I cannot pronounce it for the life of me, so I'm going to call him Mike every time, because that's his name. We love you, Mike. Yeah, you're called after Bellybolt because you dropped it in MMC, and that's the biggest disrespect you could do. And Bellybolt is going to get its revenge on that. I went for Terra Electric because I did need Stab, and then I went for Terra Flying to be immune to the ground types, to resist the grass types, and to hit the grass types super effectively, which is cool. It's also really nice against fighting types, which are really scary. And then I went for Terra Water, because Greninja being my water is not a bulky Pokemon, so yeah, I needed the bulky water, and Bellybolt with Terra can do this. Look at its stats, like 109 HP, 91 defense, 83 spin F. This thing is bulky, and it hits hard too with 103 special attack. Like, most of the weeks I'm going to run static, because it's an annoying ability. But I could also use the Electromorphosis, which gives my electric type moves, I think, a 1.5 boost. One time. And then when I get hit again, I get the 1.5 boost again. So yeah, with 103 special attack, this thing is going to hit really hard if I do decide to run that. Excuse me. Discharge to fish for paras, parabolic charge to heal myself. Full switch for momentum. And then I have chilling water, which could be cool. Although if I do decide to be Terra Water, I probably run Terra Blast. Excuse me. Oh. It gets Weather Wall, which is cool. And if I decide to be running manual weather, or if I fight Dino's Sun team, or Caleb's Rain team, which could be cool. Yeah, I get Thunder Wave because it didn't get banned. For those who don't know, we put Thunder Wave up for vote to ban it. But people decided to not ban it, which is the right decision, but not the fun decision. So it is allowed, I might as well use it. But I also get Toxic, so I have 2 Toxic Spreaders right now, which is cool. It gets Screens, which could be really nice for Ninja, or for like Heracross, Blood Moon, Scissor, Guardian Fire. And Slack off to keep myself healthy. It's really nice. This thing and Greninja are the only mods I haven't used yet on my team. But I think both of them kind of fill a role that I always want to have. So I think they will feel a bit familiar. And the main reason why I drafted Bellybolt is because I have had way too many leagues where I faced Zapdos or Kilowattrel, and I had not a single switch in for it. So yeah, I don't draft electric types. So I might as well draft a good electric type this time. And Bellybolt for 5 points is a really, really good one. For my 8th pick, I drafted Bronzong. Bronzong, what a goat. I drafted it in EBA, and I think it went 13 and 4 for me. It was ridiculous. Like, its natural typing with Levitate or Heatproof just renders a lot of Pokemon uses. They can't touch it, which is really, really cool. And then, like, 116 on both defenses, only being weak to Dark and Ghost. And then a toss-up between Ground and Fire. It's really nice. I really love this Pokemon. It can Iron Defense Body Press, it can Calm Mind, Stored Power. I can also run like a Trick Room set, which could be really cool. I forgot to mention that on the important moves. But it does get Trick Room, which gives my Ursaluna Blood Moon Trick Room set, which could be awesome. But I can also do it for myself, like Bronzong and Trick Room hits hard, and Gyro Ball is a really strong move, which people definitely don't prep enough for. It gets a lot, this thing. It gets Future Sight, so I don't have to be on the receiving end of future sites. I'm not salty. I really am not. Nah, I love Bronzong. I named it after Steve because Steve said it's a bad Pokemon. All I'm going to say to that, Steve, is you're wrong. Although I do know that we thought about it and like you kind of changed your opinion already, but you're still wrong. Bronzong is a goat. It's not going to get 13 kills this season though, but it will get a few, I think. And yeah, it's another ground immunity if I want to levitate, so now I have a ground immunity in Bronzong, I have a ground resistant Heracross, because I have a lot of weaknesses with Belly Bolt and Faz and Gouging Fire. So I'm going to patch out the plate though. Bronzong also gives me Staltrox, which I didn't have yet, so now I have Spikes on Heracross and Greninja, T-Spikes on Greninja, and Staltrox on Bronzong. It's not the best hazard control ever, but it's also not the worst. Like, if I want to bring in Staltrox, I will just fit on Bronzong, and Bronzong is a mon I will always like to use, so yeah, I'm happy with it. With my 9th pick overall, I drafted Braviary, aka Milk. Shout out to Milk. We have Milk back in GWA, it's so cool. Yeah, it's called Milk because Milk is an Australian and they do not like Americans. We joke, we love you Americans. But Australia and Europe are so much better. So what's better than call my Australian friend Milk after the American birth? He definitely will appreciate that, right? Like he's not going to be they're not going to be triggered about that. They really are not going to be triggered about that. I hope they're not. But Braviary, it's bulky, it hits hard, it can be fast, it gets agility and bulk up to setup, it can whirlwind to get rid of summons, but it's also another form of hazard control with Defo, so I don't have to run it with Scissor all the time. Like it's like my hazard game is acceptable. Usually I have a lot more hazard removal and hazard setters. This season I went for a little bit more offense and a lot of bulk, and maybe I sacrificed a lot of hazard control, but I think it's still fine. Braviary and Scissor are good removers, and Bronzong is a good start record. I do have spikes, I have T-spikes if I want to. It's not like I'm weak to hazard so far, so I think I'll be fine. And Braviary, I love it. I won Low Tier Season 1 with it. I have it with Terra in QBDL. I'm really happy to have it again. It's another pivot mon, so right now I can pivot with Gren, with Scizor, with Faz, with Bellybolt, and with Braviary, which is awesome. I can use Sheer Force, Body Slam, which is cool. I can also run Defiance, so intimidate Pokemon, get scared by me, so do Boarding Shot mons, and most importantly, the Defoggers if I do decide to bring Hazard mons. And like, worst comes to worst, 123 attack Bravebird is going to kill some stuff. I love Braviary, it's really cool. With my 10th pick, I drafted the best Pokemon in the draft. Samurott, my goat, low tier champion, season 1, MVP. I am always going to remember it and I'm always going to mention it because it's the best thing that ever happened in draft history. You cannot tell me otherwise. Samurott, my hero. I'm naming it after Pup. For those who don't know, I beat Pup with it in the low tier finals. And I think Pup is still a bit traumatized by Samurott because he calls it Swampert on accident, and every time he does see it, I can feel the irritation. I can hear him sigh. It's so nice. I love this thing. Oh man, Samurott. I think it's my second favorite mod overall, behind Infernape, but it might honestly be first because people associate me with Samurott now, and I could not be prouder. Other than that, Samurott, it gets a really nice move pool. People are sleeping on Samurott, I don't know why. Sure, it's slow, and it's not the bulkiest, but it's not frail either. And I can specially offensive, I can be physically offensive. I can set up with Swords Dance, which I didn't mention here, which is a bit of waste. But I can run Swords Dance. It gets Encore, which is nice. It gets Thought, which is nice. It gets Copycat, so that's cool if I want to copy something. And it gets some nice coverage. I can flip turn now, I can knock off to do some items. This thing has a lot of tools to its potential. And yeah, I'm not going to say which sets I'm going to run, because there are a lot of them. And you will just have to see. All I'm going to say to offline is, look at the third fighting type move I mentioned. You cannot diss Samurott. It's the best Pokemon in draft. UMPUP cannot tell me otherwise. And what I'm going to say to you, Crep, don't run Chocoberry, please. Thank you. Samurott and I appreciate it. Oh, I'm so excited to use Samurott. I may not draft it, I may not bring it every time, but it's going to be there on the sidelines as a team captain. Like, usually my round one is my team captain, and I do love gouging fire, but Samurott is a team captain, and there is no denying in that. I love you, Samurott. I really do, and I'm really happy to have you. And I really hope to win this season so I can put Samurott in the Hall of Fame, which would be incredible. I could put it in the second Hall of Fame. Like I have it in low tier, and then I have it in the regular season. So yeah. And for my last month, I drafted Superior. I really wanted Ogre doesn't even matter which one. Like, I wanted the Water Ogrepon, but that thing got drafted round 3, so that was off the table. Then I wanted the Grass Ogrepon, but Pup stole that from me. So, all I'm going to say to you, Pup, is look at Samurott. That's what you deserve from stealing Ogrepon. Then I wanted Rock Ogrepon, but Alio drafted that. And I didn't really want Fire Ogrepon, because it's not a ground resist, neither is Rockpon, but Rockpon, it's only 30 points, so I could draft Samurott with it. And with Firepon, I couldn't draft Samurott and Firepon, so that's why I didn't want it. So I just went for Snake Ogrepon. It's the same Pokemon, right? But no, Superior. I used it before in CDC. I didn't love it there, but I think a lot of teams in CDC really were prepared to deal with Superior. So I hope this season in GWA people are a bit less prepared. I did look at a few teams, and it looks a little bit better than in CDC, so I'm happy for that. Moves I'm going to click with Superior, Leaf Storm. What else? Leaf Storm. If I could, I would generally bring Leaf Storm 3 times, because I really like Specs and Scar Superior, but I am scared to lock myself into only 8 moves, only 8 PP of Leaf Storm, so if I could, I would just bring it 3 times so I could bring 24 Leaf Storms. But sadly I can't. It gets knockoff, it gets other grass type moves, but I can also be a really annoying support set with Glare and Leech Seed, and I don't have to bring Contrary. Like, I can set up with Calm Mind, I can set up with Coil, it gets dual screens, which is nice, I can recover with Synthesis, I can get fast stunts. Yeah, it's really nice. It's a ground switch in, because it's really bulky, which I really needed, so now I am not weak to ground anymore, which is nice. And I can also really scare them out with Leaf Storm, so it's cool, I guess. If people are prepared for it, I can click Leaf Seed, so yeah. And it fixes my speed tiers, because if you look at my team, my fastest is Greninja, and then it went all the way back down to Pheasantipity. So Superior sitting in between those is really nice. So, yeah. I named it after Elliot, because his team is the San Francisco Superiors, not the Superiors, Superiors. Until he fixes it, I'm going to call it the San Francisco Superiors. And he stole Ogrepon Rock from me, so I might as well taunt him a little bit with my Superior. And each week I'm going to add an extra T to his name, so that's nice. Yeah, I'm really happy with my team. I did ask for people to give me a 0 points Embor so they could have all 3 Unova starters, but people are boring. I think only Zero decided I could get one, so shout out to you, Zero. To all the other people, you're not fun. I do still love you though, but you're not fun. So these are my 11 Pokemon, so this is my team overview. My speed tiers are acceptable. They're not bad though. Like, if you look at my team on paper, I think it looks good. And if you look at it in depth, I think it looks really good. Like, all these months I've used before, I've had success with them, except for Battle and Greninja, which are new. But they look similar to months I've used before, and like, Superior, Samurott, Braviary, and Pheasantipity I used on teams I won a league with. And all Bronzong I used in a league where I lost finals. Blood Moon and Gouging I lost in semifinals, and then Scissor and Gouging lost in semifinals, and then Blood Moon I lost in round 1 of playoffs. So yeah, I used all these mods before. I had a lot of success with them. Not enough of success, but a lot of success enough. Anyway, so yeah, Average is really nice. I don't have any red in my type chart, which is cool. Usually I'm always weak to ice and I'm always weak to ground, so it's nice to not be weak to those two for once. I'm excited for this season, and I hope you are too. I hope Sabrot gets the most kills, but that's not happening, sadly. Alright. Thank you all for watching and listening to my waffle, everyone, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.